Gatos. Moisty rarely bares his teeth about getting mad. We watched one video where he got mad at American bureaucracy, but then he posted a new video on I don't get this mad that often, so something else has pushed Moisty Boy over the edge. I have not watched this, so I wanted to watch it together. Let's see what's Chapped Boy's Tide, and let's watch this together.
I have had it up to here with U.S. immigration.
Continued.
I think the U.S. immigration process is a laughable, pathetic joke. In fact, it's not
It
laughable
is near
because
impossible.
I'm not giggling. You don't see me spitting up with a smile on my
It's
face,
near
kicking my feet in
impossible.
my high chair. It is terrible.
The
Pardon
fastest
my French,
way
but it is poop.
is to marry
It is so
an American.
unbelievably horrible. In particular, I am angry at one individual. Just one specific individual. The U.S. immigration agent that's handling our case.
Okay.
But this individual is infamous in the esports scene for declining teams and people for the most ridiculously stupid reasons imaginable. A month ago, I made a video kind of going over the basics
Yeah, we watched
of
this
what
one.
I'm going to be diving into deeper today.
He was
In a
very
nutshell,
mad.
Our esports team, Moist Esports, has an Apex roster, and we're one of the best in the world. We are currently ranked 4th in A, with
Moist
still
Esports.
another whole series to play. We're still a whole series
Let's
behind
go.
the people around us, and we're still top 4. We're a fucking outrageous squad of maniacs out there. Some of the best
State
talent
Strike.
Apex has ever seen.
Good to see you. Welcome
Our
back.
team came from Australia. Our plan for the season was to bring them to NA, where the competition is more fierce. NA is a powerhouse in Apex. So we brought them over to NA, and then at the very last second got rejected by US immigration, and they were declined entry into this country. So we had the last second pivot, change all of our plans, and get them to Canada so they could still play this split. So they're currently in Canada, and we've been actively trying to get them to the US. And I cannot overstate how much of a nuisance it was to get that rejection when we did. Because it came at the very end of an extremely long, drawn-out, tedious process.
You should just do
where just out of nowhere,
what
they
everybody
decided to
else
flip the switch
does.
saying, nope, actually,
Tourist
they're
visa.
not welcome here. Decline.
Make money anyways.
And there's nothing we could have done to rectify it or change it. They just decided they didn't like us anymore, so they declined it fundamentally with no real reason. And since this is such a slow process, I swear to God, it might be one of the slowest things on the planet. U.S. immigration moves slower than Robert De Niro and The Irishman. It's fucking disgraceful how awful the optimization is for this process. So all we could do was get them to Canada so they could still play this split here in NA like we had planned on. And while they're doing that, we're still trying to get them to the US.
Canada's expensive.
Now, initially we didn't really understand why they were declined. All we knew is this sometimes happens in the esports scene. My little tinfoil hat theory was that the agent was afraid of Waltzy. Waltzy is one of our players, one of the best in the world, and he also happens to be a power lifter. So perhaps they were just worried that he'd pose a national security risk for being too strong.
Also, why are there so
snapping
many
Americans in
like
half. All we could do was
FPS
really
players
speculate and resubmit, which we
that are
did.
like power
And
lifters?
now we've received a response from the resubmission forms, and after going through everything with lawyers and making sure it is as buttoned up as possible with all of the best in the industry, I am happy to say we are still fucking
As this
struggling
is
because
in Canada,
the agent
yes,
is
it
a
is.
geriatric
Or-
fossil
yes, it
that
is.
is
It's
absolutely
Canada.
just out for some kind of vendetta. I think they might just hate the word moist. That's probably a very real possibility. But they have asked us to submit even more evidence and even more clarification on things, which ordinarily I would have no problem with. But we've already done this once. We did this song and dance last time, only to get rejected many weeks after doing that. This isn't a fast process. If it was fast, I wouldn't care. I'd be like, oh, okay, you need
He
more
needs to
papers, more
employ
documents, more
somebody
clarification. Fine, we can provide all of
on
that
this
tomorrow. And
24.
hopefully hear
Like
from you in
this
the next
is
day
their
or two.
only job.
That's not how it works. Because after we do submit all of those, further appeals for evidence,
Wouldn't be
it takes
surprised if it
weeks,
just isn't
multiple
contained
weeks
to
for them to
esports.
respond.
No,
and
no. Immigration in
they
general is just
barely
garbage.
fucking look at what you submit, I feel.
It's
In the last
faster
video, I
and
mentioned that
easier to
our
marry
agent didn't
an
believe
American.
us that we were placing so high, and they didn't bother to look into it at all. Well, that is another thing that is a fucking problem, because they still don't believe our placements. Our team crushes it at the majors, and we were number 12 at the World Championship, and one of the things they need clarification on is why they should believe us that those placements are real or important. You rat bastard, what do you mean?
They don't understand
We are submitting the
esports.
official standings, the official placements for these majors and the World Championship. What do you mean you don't trust that? What?
They don't
Actually,
understand what
I wasn't
esports
there,
are.
so I didn't see it. I can't.
this
This
isn't
must
a
be a
thing to
fucking lie.
them.
Fly yourself out to the next fucking major and watch us then. Like, what do you mean? It's crazy how they can just pull that out of their ass. Like, oh, why should we believe the official
Boomers
standings?
are running
Ridiculous.
everything in
You thought you
America.
could pull a fast one
Hollow.
on U.S. immigration?
Everything.
No, sir. It's so stupid. It's so fucking stupid. But that's not the one I want to get hung up on. I'm actually going to just read this to you verbatim. I'm not going to show you it because that might be a legal issue. But I absolutely just have to put this out here. I feel like I'm in the loony dimension reading this shit. I am convinced that there's not a human being on the other side of this conversation. I believe that our lawyers have been contacted and communicating with Cleverbot, who is for some reason representing the U.S. Immigration Services. It is so outrageously dumb. So you're going to need a little context behind this before getting into it. So when bringing the team to the land of the free, home of the brave, we were instructed to have a high-ranking EA official kind of glaze us to help convey to the U.S. Immigration Services that our team is internationally significant to this scene. Now, when it comes to getting
What kind of
teams
visa
over
are
here,
they
this is
trying
what
to get?
every esports org
I have
has
no
to
idea,
do.
Beef Supreme.
They have to convince the immigration services that their team is highly competitive, a top team that is worthy to come over here and start bleeding cheeseburgers
They have no idea.
like a true red
They have no
blooded
idea.
American. So that's what we were doing, and we had a high-ranking EA individual.
He would have had a
kind of
faster
talking on our
time if he
behalf.
would have told them
And
they're
again, this
coming
is
over
something
here
that
to do
they, the
physical
U.S.
labor.
Immigration Services wanted. They didn't fucking believe that he's actually a real official. So let me read this to you. Written statement from an official of the sports governing body, which is who we were talking to. You may have
It's pretty nuts. This is all over a
from an
visa,
official
not
of the
something
sports
like
governing body
residence.
describing how the
Yeah.
athlete or team is internationally recognized. The evidence you submitted
Maybe
is
a working visa,
insufficient.
'cause
You
technically
submitted a
work-
testimonial
yeah, that's
from
what it is. It's definitely a
redacted,
work
I'm not
visa.
going to drop their name, about the beneficiaries redacted.
Like I said, it would have
is
been
a senior
faster
manager
and
at
easier
Electronic Arts
if you
EA,
just did
but
a tourist visa
USCIS
and had them work
cannot determine
anyways.
that his position is considered an official of a governing body in esports.
'Cause he tried to play by the
Additionally,
rules
we mentioned
and
that
do
the
the right thing.
beneficiaries have had high placements in several
Government
competitions
bureaucracy.
in the ALGS Year 3 season. However, USCIS cannot determine how the placements constitute as international reputation. As previously discussed, ALGS does not appear to require athletes or teams with international reputation to participate in the competitions.
Oh, geez.
As such, there's insufficient
AKA.
evidence to demonstrate that having such placements in ALGS competitions equate to international reputation.
This is
You
some
may still
boomer that
submit
says
evidence to
this
satisfy
seems
this
made up.
criterion. I'm going to have a conniption. You... Excuse me. Still playing with cash registers, huh, Squiddy? What kind of place is this? You wanted us to prove that our placements were real, and we had a high-ranking EA, who, of course, they own Apex, represents that side, talk on our behalf to confirm that the placements are real. But you don't believe that that official, whom you even cite their position in this statement, actually represents them? Is actually
he
part
made
of the
it
official
up. Like,
governing body of the
what kind
esport?
of nefarious
How can you
thing could
not
these people be
believe
up to?
them? You even cite their position in your statement, a position that constitutes an esports side. What do you mean? And then you say that the placements don't necessarily mean international reputation? What the fuck does then? How could any team possibly get into the country through this game if even the highest placements don't constitute international reputation to satisfy your criterion? It doesn't make any fucking sense. The agent here is well known in the esports scene because we've talked to numerous other orgs. And all of them have had to deal with this person, and all of them have horror stories about them. So much so that the majority of them have found ways to circumvent ever having to deal with them and going through other people. That is how bad
US
their
has a
job
limited
this
number of
person
working
is.
visas
A
to
job
give
that is
out every year.
extremely
The
important
companies
and
have
carries
to
a
fight
lot of
over
weight
them.
for
True.
so many
True.
people. And this absolute brain-dead goober can't be bothered to do the bare minimum of just activating a few neurons up here to even process what the fuck
He's
they're
not
saying,
wasting his
or what
visa
they're asking
on video
for.
games.
And when we submit the evidence that satisfies sufficiently what they want,
That's
they
what's going
still
on.
are not accepting it for inexplicable reasons. That is not a reason what they've given there. How can you not believe that one of the highest ranking officials at EA for this area is not trustworthy or insufficient or doesn't represent the governing body? That is mind-bogglingly silly.
It is silly.
It has to be malicious. It has to be malicious. No one can be this stupid on accident and have this job. Again, this is a job that is extremely important. and you have someone this incompetent there, I don't
True.
believe it. This has to be on purpose. Not only have we been working with lawyers who specialize in this area, but we have been working with other orgs who have successfully gone through this process,
And they know who this
albeit it
dude
seems
is.
they've done it with other individuals. Not this fucking womp from Super Mario 64 that we've unfortunately been cursed with over there at the U.S. Immigration Office. This is craziness. How one person
You should have said
can just
tourist
say,
visa 6 months
I
from
just don't really
Australia.
feel
It'd
like
be easy.
bothering to look
100%.
into this
100%.
at all, so I'm just going to say you're lying. I'll ask for
You
more
can
evidence and then
tour
not
America
read it,
while play
and
games.
fuck you.
Exactly.
That's
Exactly.
absolute insanity. Even
No,
when we fulfill
he fucked
it
up
to
by
a
wanting to do
T
it by the
and
book.
bring in an extremely high-ranking EA official to speak on our behalf to our
To
achievements
authenticate.
in the scene, they still won't
They
even
don't
accept
believe him.
that. What else can we do?
You can't win.
Like, what else
It's
is
over.
there to do besides
It's
just
over.
somehow get a different agent, resubmit again, and pray, fingers crossed, we don't encounter this scourge.
No,
It's
he's
just
gonna
ridiculous.
find your
I just
application
had
and
to
poo-poo
rant
it
about
again.
this again after I was shown why we've been requested further information for the fucking like third time now after being rejected. Like it's, oh my lord, what in tarnation? I cannot believe how awful this process is.
He's not the first to fall into this
Truly
trap when he apparently,
awful
for
and
one reason,
nonsensical. So yeah, I just had to rant about this again.
you can't refile
There's your little
the other way.
Moist Esports update for our Apex
that
team. Our Apex
sucks.
team is fucking crushing it. Gonna be watch partying their next game this Saturday. Hopefully more big dubs on the way. Our team is absolutely going fucking ballistic, so I love to see that. It's always a lot of fun. Feel free to stop into the streams. And hopefully pretty soon, you know, they can eventually come to the United States, like we had planned on many months ago. So yeah,
Yep,
that's really about it.
they're stuck
Yeah.
in Canada. 100%. They're stuck in Canada. All right.
We just got dropped off in the middle of an abyss.
No, Mr. Beast, stop.
I have had it up.
All right, that was Moist. I don't get this bad. Yeah, no, 100% bureaucracy. I worked on shipped, imported G/F4. Oh, nice, Steve. Nice. That's cool. Okay, I think I queued up something else. Okay. Oh, as always, we usually watch the end. Sure, try to provide a like and a comment to help these creators out in the algorithm. So I'll be like, "No, not again." Windows button period brings up the emojis, and then I will search for cat, and then I will look at angry cat times 3. There we go. If you guys don't already support Moist Critical, Papa Moist, I think he's one of the best creators on Twitch and YouTube. There we go. Here's a link to the video we just watched. We'll tab over to Bam Chickadee and Kick, share this video with her.